Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 26 with the Colorado Rockies. Our last season was our best one yet. For the first time since we took over the team, we won over 90 games. Very snazzy indeed. 93 and 69, a very nice loss record. Um, in large part to a massively improved pitching staff. Manuel Pineda, we paid a lot of money for him. He clearly seems to be worth it, at least for now. But also, just as a general, we just got a better team. Will Levy didn't really pitch very much during the postseason, but he has arrived. He is here. He is ready for a big role next season. So, what do we need to improve? It's hard to say, really. Third base certainly seems like an early weak spot, but it's going to take some time to sort out our options here. Colin Ritchie wasn't quite as good as I was hoping. I think there's still a lot more to unpack here. There's still a lot more power to be had. So that's something that I'm definitely looking for. A lot of our improvement might be internal. I still have a sizable quantity of money, but a lot of that may end up going to upgrades to keeping players we've already got, and maybe finding a couple interesting youngsters. There's a consideration to offer Ryan McMahon a qualifying offer. Whenever thinking about the decision, by the way, to offer a qualifying offer, always offer to extend their contract first. You can see his contract demand is basically, I want to retire for the Rockies, which I respect. I can't afford the roster spot. Ultimately, the problem isn't the $2 million, it's that he takes up a full roster spot. And I can't do that. I can't devote that much money to somebody who can basically only back up at third base and first. I guess a little bit of second too, but it's just not a very smart decision. I can use this to evaluate a rookie, so if I offer this, he will absolutely take it, and it will be the worst possible scenario. So, sorry, mate. Thank you for your service, but that's a hard no from me. Let's go ahead and check on our coaching staff. I have an email here to look at. That was just the trade I made at the end of last episode. That's probably fine. Where are you, my friend? You are here. Personnel. Coaching staff is actually set. We don't have to do anything with that. That's great. Let's do some player development now. Motoyasu Yasukawa. I would love for him to learn a different position, but I think he'd be a perfectly fine second baseman. Let's just get him working on his plate discipline. That's a good idea. Alex Rodarte finally got his first professional season. He did okay. He's only a medium risk, so we could push him a little bit more aggressively if we wanted. Let's let him work on some batting eye, though. Let's do that. Eric Reddick, if we want him to be in the majors next season, which I think is very possible, we're going to want him to work on probably his control. His walk rates in the minors have actually been fairly reasonable. Like, this is nothing terrible. So there is an argument to be made for improving his movement instead. I think that's probably for the best. Let's improve his movement instead. At least try. Alright, I'm going to take a quick peek at the Major League roster, see if we have any really young players here that need some help. There's John Beguin. I want him to keep working on his control. Or his movement. Did he get hit hard last year? He has struggled with home runs in his career. So maybe movement is the right path for him. Will Levy, his control is perfect. I think secondary pitches is the best thing to work on here. His pitches have a ton of upside to them, but none of them are very polished yet. So working on his secondary pitches could actually be very good. Very, very good. Edwin Burrito. Let's get him to work on his... probably his contact. We could work on gap power, actually. That actually makes more sense. He's got a lot of room to work on that. And gap power is a medium instead of a hard to learn. Colin Ritchie. You didn't make very much contact. Are you especially... You have a really good work ethic. I'm going to take a risk, a small risk. I want you to work on the quality of contact, excuse me. I want to be able to put the ball in play more often and let his power do the rest. Isaiah Swain might already just be just another guy. We can still work on him, but I want to look at my prospects first. Because one thing about Mario Acevedo potentially getting a little bit of work in. Yeah. Mario, let's have you work on your control. 40 control is reasonable for a pitcher. If they've got really great other stats, but if they're a little bit lacking, then you're probably better off doing something else. What if we did that? Sorry, I just expanded my window. If you just saw the monitor flicker or whatever, so that's kind of where we are. Alright, so this is all done. I love his nickname. Motoyasu the Bald Eagle Yasukawa. What a name. What a legend. Let's now decide arbitration. So we only have 4 people up for arbitration here. Edgar Issei actually had a bit of a down year. His WAR was pretty reasonable, but it looks like he didn't handle the transition well. Walks are a problem for him. They always will be. Okay strikeouts. He still pitched fairly effectively. If he could cut the walks, I think he would be dominant. He's only wanting a fairly modest race, and he has this pretty good track record of being one of our better relievers. I think it's probably fun to give him his 1-year deal. I wouldn't mind upgrading the bullpen, actually. Getting a proven closer would be pretty tasty right now. I'm not going to guarantee you that role, but I will pay you more money. He's my emotional support middle reliever. Justin Jarvis as a swingman has been kind of useful, but he's also 30 years old, and his pitches aren't very good anymore. He is the classic junk baller. And I don't think a junk baller is what we need on this staff right now. I think, much like with Ryan McMahon, I'd rather have the roster spot than I would have him. So we're going to go ahead and non-tender him. I can try trading him. It doesn't hurt to ask, but I don't think we're going to get anything for him. Check that. I like Jordan Sanchez a fair bit, actually. He's not the best hitter, but he's got some decent glove. He's just a decent player. Nothing at all wrong with that. Let's make this work. There you go. It never hurts to ask when you're getting ready to non-tender somebody. I think Cooper McKeon definitely deserves another contract. He gets a lot of work, and he pitches very, very effectively against lefties. It's not what I wanted when we acquired him. I wanted him to be an everyday kind of pitcher, but if we take a look at how he deals with righties, he actually colds them down fairly effectively. At least he did last year. But just the season before, he was getting hammered by them pretty hardly. So we want to be very cautious about overexposing him. But against lefties, he's a fucking killer. Except that very first season, which you only pitched 2 1/3 innings. Who knows how good you actually would have been. He's very deserving of a raise, though. I think a raise of $2.4 million is perfectly fine for his skill set. I think we can keep him around. Now, there is an interesting idea that just popped into my head right now. I think Cole Carrig is done. As much as I've appreciated his versatility on the roster and as useful as I think he's been, I think his time has come and gone. He played basically below average defense at several positions. And while that's not useless, it's not good either. So there is a real consideration to bringing Ryan McMahon back for one last season and letting Cole Carrig walk. McMahon isn't useless as a utility guy. He's not useless as a utility guy. He does have some capability to play third and second and first. And I would need a backup shortstop, but maybe this is the answer. Maybe this is what we do here. Ryan, I like you so much, I'm going to give you a 3-year contract with 2 options. And if you ever just completely bottom out, then I can dispose of you fairly easily. It also feels good. It feels good to let him cook. But Carrick, I think, needs to go. This may be a very slight mistake. I acknowledge that that is a possibility here. You're going to be a former Rocky, as are you. But the fact is, you don't have to be an amazing hitter to be worthwhile, but you can't be this terrible, especially for somebody that actually played a lot last season. So I think letting you depart on your own terms is probably okay. Well, on my terms, I guess. I guess he's not choosing to leave. Um, Scott Rios is what I call utility player plus. He's decent actually. Mr. Rios here is actually a fair decision. Can I get Roque and Rios? Can I get both players? Is that something I could ask for the low price of Cole Carrig? You want to think about it? I will happily make this offer. And if it turns out you don't like it, then I'll just do it for the one dude. I mean, if you want a terrible first baseman in exchange, I'm certainly not going to tell you no. Or a terrible right fielder, sure. Wait, what happened here? Wait a damn minute. Where'd that kid go? Oh, you traded Roque to somebody else. You little shits. Fine. Wait a minute. It's doing that thing again. Oh, it's because I offered something to Baltimore. This is the deal that I care about. Oh, you changed your mind. Okay, well, if you want my shitty player to take him, then you can have it. That's fine. Alright. I think that happened last time, too. I think it's something they've changed recently where they actually will change their mind at the last second. I don't really think they're trading any of these guys, to be honest with you. Archuleta's got a chance to be a decent stopgap third baseman, although, no, Archuleta is fine. I'd rather have Roque and Rios than Archuleta. Let me mark you as a former Rocky, too. Complete trade. Alright. Plus, we get the warm and fuzzies from keeping Ryan McMahon around. He's still pretty popular locally. He wants to be a starter. That's not going to happen. He's going to be a backup, and he's just going to have to like it. That's just kind of where we are right now. You look like someone with Major League experience, and therefore I cannot accept. Oh, do I have my Rule 5 people set up here? Okay. I have a little bit of openings here. Maybe I shouldn't have kept Ryan McMahon. Maybe that was a mistake. I'm going to go ahead and let Quinn and Vergez be free. I think Tehigo might actually be a decent choice to at least get some consideration for third base. Let's go ahead and put him on the list. What about Jordan Yost? I think Mr. Yost here is fine as well. We can put him on the roster. And let's leave some spot open. Kenley Hunter is a really good defensive center fielder. I have Doyle for a while longer, but it doesn't hurt to have a fairly capable backup available. So we're going to put Hunter on the roster too. All right. Let me simulate up to free agency because I really don't have anything to wait for. Oh, you'd offer me Oscar Gonzalez? That's a hard no. Or Braum Martinez? I like Braum here. I think he's a very talented player. Okay. I don't want Oscar Gonzalez. That isn't interesting. But if the rest of it interests you, then I'm willing to make the trade. Let's see how this grabs you. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe we're gonna be like, you loser. You're asking for like premium caliber talent. What if it's just Martinez? Because I don't care about Tony Rosales as well, but I do like Martinez. Let's see if that intrigues you at all. Oh, the three of you. Oh, Mr. Scott Rios. Let's put you in AAA. Oh, I gotta put you on the 40-man? That's fine. You would actually make the Major League roster. I'm not convinced yet, but for now, you're just going into the minors, and the two of you can both go to the minors. A lot of Gold Glovers this year. Drew Romo, Cam Cannarella, and Brent Doyle. I think it's Cannarella's second consecutive Gold Glove, so I'd love to see him bounce back from admittedly not. This is never going to be a realistic record, mostly because he doesn't have that much power, but he can definitely work on the other aspects of his game and continue to be a top quality player. Brent Doyle has low-key been a huge contributor to this club. Yeah. Drew Romo. We have an embarrassment of riches at the catcher position. No, you're wanting genuinely great players, then I don't care. You lost my attention. If you're going to be that nitpicky and like, I want the very best player in Major League history for my number 7 reliever. Like, I don't think so, buddy. We've got to activate Emil Morales. Okay. He's probably our actual third base choice, but the problem is we have a lot of possibilities, but none of them are overwhelmingly great yet. Oh, I need to clear up more room on the 40-man. Connor Eaton is never pitching in the majors. I think he's a reasonable fit to trade. If not, we can just waive him. I'd much rather have Emil Morales than Connor Eaton. I think that's a easy decision. There we go. Personal message here. Silver Slugger for Condon and Dalis. Nice. Hey, I got Manager of the Year. Nice. And you can Sukun Miley. I have no idea who any of these guys are. Why do I care about any of them? What's Michael Prosecki? I don't remember you at all. I maybe that makes you terrible, but I just don't remember you, even in the slightest. The Rockies want to offer me Spencer Torkelson. That sounds like a hard no from me. I cannot accept Major League players, you know this. It is not permitted. Let's take a look here. I mean, Woo-Suk Kim could be an outstanding addition to this team. I have very great concerns about his long-term viability, but if we want instant credibility, Kim is the way to go. He's got good stamina, great at holding runners, 3 fantastic pitches, plus a pretty decent one. Let me get a scouting report on him before I commit. Because I know he's probably going to go somewhat quickly. If I miss out on him, though, because I spent so much time dicking around, I will be very grumpy. Chase Brunson is not very interesting to me. He's fine. I think his real value, though, is the fact it gets Chivilli off my books. But Chivilli's only got one more year anyway, so I don't think that really matters to me that much. Oh, I found Eric Gonzalez, huh? He's okay. I could do this. Let me give him a minor league contract. See if it interests him. Where is my dog Kim here? 2 to 3 weeks. I know this is very slow and annoying, but I want a chance to see what he's capable of before I commit to signing him. I don't want amateurs. I want... Wait, or do I want amateurs? No, I can't sign him yet. Oh, it's Hall of Fame voting tomorrow. That's what we stopped for. Okay. Cast ein ballot. Ryan Braun will never make it in real life because of the steroids shit. Paul Goldschmidt, we can do that. Kenley Jansen, fine. Aaron Judge, fine. McCutcheon, fine. Salvador Perez, sounds good. David Price, okay. Jose Ramirez would be a welcome addition. Joey Votto again, and I think that's it. There's somebody who just got added here. Oh, it was Chris Sale. Yeah, I can't in good conscience have David Price instead of Chris Sale when David Price is significantly worse than Chris Sale. Let's give this one a go. Don't know who makes it. Don't much care. Alright. Who got traded there? Oh, Anthony Molina, okay. You really don't like Chase Brunson at all, do you? Or Jason Atkinson? I think Mason Albright isn't very good. And I think Wyatt Petrovsky is just not very decent either. I think this is a trade I'm prepared to make. Let's do it. It doesn't really change much. I don't think either one of these guys is ever going to have a role on the team, so this doesn't bother me at all. Former Rocky. Can I please have my fucking scouting report, game? Can you get off your lazy butt? He already fucking signed. I knew that was gonna happen. You son of a bitch. Damn it. Dude, I don't know what your fucking problem is, but that's almost enough for me to fire you on the spot. Because you dicked around making your scouting report, I had no chance to sign him. You're good. You should be lucky that I like you, because that was very unnice of you. So now we have to pivot, which isn't my favorite thing to do, but it's what we have to do. I admit I probably should have just signed him and not worried about it, but I didn't want to. I think Nathaniel Cruz is a very reasonable relief pitcher. He's nothing special, but he's a fairly small sum, and I'm at least willing to give him a shot. Where are you? Oh, Charles King we like. We like Charles King, do we? I like him a little better as a reliever, but I can still make this offer, and that's no problem. If I lose the World Series this year because of bad pitching, you have every right to be upset with me. I'm upset with me. But I genuinely thought it wouldn't take that long. So, lesson learned. Offer some people some minor league deals, and they either take them or they don't. Mick. Didn't I try to sign you like a year ago, and you just played in my minors and never actually made the majors? Maybe this time will be different, but also maybe not. Brian Buelvis? Nah. Don't think so. Anderson Fermin? This is a bit more like it because of his ability to play center fairly effectively. I think this is somebody that I could offer a deal to. Sure. Adriander Mejia. I don't really need a catcher. Catcher I feel pretty good about. It's Tomoya Sumi. Maybe. He's an okay pitcher, actually. If all he's going to cost is a minor league deal, then I'm willing to give him that offer. He actually wants a major league contract. $2.6 million for a guy that might not even make the roster seems like a bad choice to me. I don't think that's something I'm willing to invest in. When I can get Nolan McLean for who's basically the same pitcher for free, like that's just not happening. That's gonna bug the shit out of me. That was very rude, scouting director. Very, very rude. We're gonna put where I don't really care about these guys. Let's look for the high potential types. We can add Joe Ward. We can add Joe Mama. We can add Urkel here. Man, poor Griff O'Farrell. Kind of feel bad for the guy. Rick Howery, sure. We can add you along. You can give us a little bit more depth in the postseason here. Can I offer multiple people a minor league contract at once? That'd be pretty dope if I could. I can do. Nice. Basically, 46 and below is somebody that I'm interested in offering a contract to. That works. Neat. Let's advance some time. I know we're not getting any actual major leaguers. It just is what it is. There was one great free agent in this market, and because I got too conservative, I guess that's who I'm really mad at. I'm really mad at myself. For letting myself get distracted. I should have just signed him for like 2 or 3 seasons, but I didn't. Instead, I got greedy and I tried to make sure there was no risk whatsoever, and as a result, I missed out on an ace. I'm not giving you Bryant Milam. Nope. Bunch of contracts signed, none of which surprise me. This does not surprise me either. I'm not giving up Milam. I think Milam and Romo are a fantastic combo, and although eventually Milam will get very expensive for me, I think until that day, and I have to make a difficult choice, I think we can easily make this work out. Maybe Milam just is our backup catcher in DH or something, and that's perfectly fine with me. That's perfectly fine with me. Eric Riddick almost certainly is going to the majors this year. Not a guarantee, but very, very likely. You guys are doing pretty good for the most part. That's nice. Rule 5 draft time. I have 1 spot on the roster. We can start with that, and then I can make room if there's somebody that I find truly exciting. I lost Mitch Voigt. Oh no. Anyway. Now this is interesting. Nicholas Partridge. He's not a great third baseman, but he is a fairly well-rounded hitter. I think we go for it. I think we take Mr. Partridge here. Draft him. Auto draft. I think Wayne Lin is somebody else that I'm also prepared to take. Let me make room on the 40 man for him. Anybody want? I bet nobody even takes him. I bet I can just sneak him through waivers, and that's fine. Because I genuinely want him if I can get him. Yeah, give me Wayne Lin. Done. His nickname is Toad. He's a ground ball pitcher. He's got tons of upside on him. One more Rule 5 pick is probably fair. It's probably fair. Maybe it's too much. Maybe we're fine. Maybe we just let this one go. Getting two starting caliber players in the Rule 5 draft is actually pretty tasty. That's actually a really nice thing. While we sim forward, I think whenever we do win the World Series with this series, I probably end it. But I think we're overdue to bring RimWorld back. So I think that's what's going to start happening on Mondays when this series is done with. Yeah. That should be a good time, I think. RimWorld just released an expansion not too long ago that I've never played. I'm so far behind on RimWorld, guys. I played mostly Slay the Spire and Balatro recently. I finally beat the heart as the defect, which is pretty exciting. But that's kind of what I've been up to. But yeah, so I'm thinking RimWorld would be a nice return to the channel. Something a little bit different. Yeah. Only once we won the World Series. I don't want to leave this job. I don't want to leave this job undone. And I think that is what we would be doing if we don't win the World Series. So, all right, guys, let's make some signings here. Luis Cavazos is a hard no from me. I recognize he's got very high potential, but he also can't really play the field at all, and he's got a very high bust for me. That doesn't work for me. Ruben Garcia's got some attraction to me as a classic leadoff guy with really nice speed. He's not a terribly great fielder, but I think he's serviceable. He's a possibility. I like Frank Hernandez a lot, too. He's also hardworking with low financial ambition, but he can't play second. Like, playing him anywhere first base is a mistake. Carlos Lopez. I think genuinely we take Ruben Garcia. I think having a premium tier leadoff guy is useful for the Rockies. So we're going to do it. Oh. Hasn't started yet. Duly noted. Now we can sign him. Yeah. Ah, ouch. I just sneezed really hard and then smacked my hand into my desk. Because I'm not very coordinated. I just am not. Goldschmidt, Perez, Jansen, and Sale, I'll make it. This is criminal. I've talked about it too much to get over it, to get worked up over it again, but Joey Votto is a Hall of Famer. I know he's not the classic Hall of Famer, and that may be why people will go like harumph about it. He's a Hall of Famer. And if you don't think he's a Hall of Famer, even given what he's already accomplished, then you're just mistaken. Cooper Dossett is getting better, which is fun. It's better than him not getting better, that's for sure. Okay. We finally got Ruben Garcia, finally. We can start printing World Series tickets right now. I'd be very happy if we won the World Series, though. Could this roster do it? Maybe. It's going to depend on a lot of factors, but it's possible. Eric Riddick is 100% getting an opportunity here. Fermin, King, Randall, Abel, Irons, Hartshorn, Huari, maybe. I think it's not too early to at least let Mr. Acevedo here have a little bit of spring training experience. Ryan Russell can get some too. Bobby Rivera can get some. Earl Carlson can. Anybody else? Gary Cruz, Justin Cashin, and Daniel Olson can all have a little bit of Major League time. Let's also do... nah. A 19-year-old should not be... Even in spring training, I think is stretching them far too much. Let's go to 6-in rotation here, and let's let my bench coach set things up. Sandy Ozuni's one more year, but then I think we definitely take the gloves off of him. We let him pitch as much as he wants. Lean Oops. I don't hate the idea of playing Colin Ritchie at third. This means we don't have a backup catcher, so that's something we're going to have to address. Oh, we have Fauski. If this is what you want me to do, I'm up for it. If this is what we think the best use of our roster is, I'm prepared to sign off on it. Let's just advance a little bit of time here and see where we get by opening day. Yasukawa got better. Everybody got better except for Brito and Richie. I don't love Richie playing third base, to be honest with you, but maybe if we put him in the field, he'll feel better about himself. And we can then apply him appropriately, maybe. Maybe. I'm frustrated with myself. I'm very frustrated that I let myself... Yeah. But he's injured at least. I guess I feel a little bit better about it, but... Yep, Riddick is ready for the majors. Cruz is getting there. Begin is getting better. Acevedo is getting better. That's exciting. They're taking their time in the majors quite well. Nice. Alright. So that's cool. Let's now simulate up to the 15th. The end of games being played, essentially, to see if we have any injuries. Alright. We are going to lose... Oh, Eduardo Beltre is just instantly fine. Okay. We already looked at all that, didn't we? Okay. So, we had 28 pitchers. 15 of those need to go. So let's start working on that. I want Acevedo back in Double-A. He barely pitched in Double-A. He needs to go back there so he can learn how to be a starter. That is the correct decision with him. Earl Carlson did not pitch particularly well in High A. I think repeating High A is fine for him. Kashin has been pretty consistently decent. I think he's ready for High A himself. Gary Cruz might make the roster. We're going to keep looking for now. Wayne Lynn is already, like, completely, like, washed out in record time. I think we say goodbye to him. Daniel Olson pitched in A ball. He did pitch fairly effectively, so I think letting him pitch in high A is fine. All right. Bobby Rivera barely pitched at all. I'm actually going to let Bobby Rivera pitch an A ball again. Mostly because high A is full, but also because I want him to face a little bit easier competition so he can work up to his strength again. All right. Ryan Russell is far too walk prone to be on this bullpen right now, so we're going to send him to Double A. All right. Scott Randall to Triple A. King to Triple A. Does anybody want Oscar Pujols? Nope. Probably means he'll be able to get through waivers okay, which is fine with me. How many are we down to now? We need to get to 5 more pitchers still? Okay, fine. A Bell to the minors. We'll talk about Hoffman here in a second. I'm going to look at who else is available here. Issei's losing his ability to get strikeouts. That does create some concern for me. Nobody's going to want him. I feel pretty strongly that nobody's going to want anything to do with him. We can ask, but I think I overpaid for him. Especially given that we've already got Cooper McKeon, who is a fantastic lefty killer, who has less of his same issues. I think we can just release him. I think that's fine. I guess I should have made him a former Rocky first, but for right now, I'm not worried about it. Gary Cruz hasn't even pitched in Double A yet. I think letting him get a little bit of experience in Double A doesn't hurt anything. Unlike Riddick, who already has pitched and pitched well in Double A, I think letting him get a little more experience is fine. So we're going to put you there. I still need to say goodbye to 2 more pitchers, and one of them is not going to be Riddick. Because I think Begin is the new closer. Do I say goodbye to Issei? No, that's stupid, right? That's a dumb thing for me to say. I think Dossett probably can go back to AAA for a little bit. And I think Hoffman can also go to AAA. I think that's the answer here. So here's my 13 players. Oscar Vasquez slides over to here. Emergency starter, long relief. This doesn't work for me, by the way. This is a terrible division of responsibilities. Pablo Torres, I think, could be a great setup guy. Chavilli can be the other setup dude. Issei, Dubovnik, and Riddick are all middle relievers. Actually, I forgot about Dubovik. Do I not want him at all? I kind of do. Maybe. So this is our opening day rotation, which is fine. That feels pretty solid. Alright, position players. If we really want Milan to be our starting DH, we have to keep 3 catchers. That's something we need to keep an eye out for. Howery instantly goes to the minors. Even Double A is probably too high for him. Let me put you in A ball. Let me let you work up to it. I have too many infielders all of a sudden, like way too many infielders. If Richie's playing third, Then I think we don't keep Swan, Morales, and Yost. I think that's too much. Between Rios and Yost, we keep Yost because Yost has... He's a better defender. He's a much better defender, but he's also a little bit more well-rounded in terms of offense. Leon is actually the other one we could keep. Let me send Yost down for right now, too. Morales to the minors, and Swain to the minors. Because not like Swain dominated in AAA, right? To the point where we had to call him up. I think letting him restart in AAA a little bit is probably fine. I have enough options in the infield. I know I just made a big deal about signing Ryan McMahon. I think we have to let him go. I'm sorry the fans are sad about that, but I can't let him clog up the roster if he's getting even worse. So I wish you well, Ryan. I'll bring you back on like a minor league deal. But that would be it. Alright, gotta get rid of a lot more players here. Okay. Fine. Rosario to the minors, Hartshorn to the minors. Fermin to the minors, I think, is reasonable. Quinn Irons to the minors. Oh, you're gonna be like that? You have to have your 40-man spot? Fine. What if I just don't give it to you? Yeah, I guess if somebody else claims him, I guess I would try to take him back. Tyhead was really good in AAA. I think he's earned an opportunity in the majors, so I think he's going to get to make the roster. I think letting Brito play AAA is probably fine. I think that's a good place to put him for right now. And then we need to say goodbye to one infielder and one outfielder. I think Nicholas Partridge can go. I think he no longer interests me. And I could send on Dubovik and then have like Cooper Dossett instead. It is the thing I could do. I don't think it's something that I'm going to, but it's a thing that I could do. I like having Kenley Hunter because he is a fairly competent center fielder. I think letting him come in off the bench when we need him is pretty solid. I probably don't need both Emerson and Leone, although they're very similar. Leone is a marginally better hitter and is marginally more useful because he plays second, third, and short, whereas Emerson just plays third and short. But I also think that he's got... I feel like I'm letting myself get tricked here. But I think we're fine. I think I am okay keeping... Actually, Tyhead can handle center in a pinch, can't he? Beltre's not terrible at it. Yeah, I think we can go ahead and send down Kenley Hunter. I would like him to play in AAA before he gets called up to the majors. I think that's probably fine. Okay, let's get the minors dealt with. Dave Crawford goes to A-ball. Or you're just coming off of high school. Never mind. Never mind. Then I won't rush you. Jim Pizzulo, I think, can be promoted to A-ball. I think that's fine. We'd like Javier Morales here. I don't. I'd actually rather just trade him. Because he's a terrible infielder, and I don't feel like having a shortstop that can't shortstop. I guess nobody wants him either. Okay, fine. I want Rodarte. I want him accessible to me in the not too distant future. I think letting him start the season in low A is fine. He's young for his level, but I don't think that's a bad thing. We're also going to call up Ruben Santa Cruz because he's been stuck in the rookie league, I think. Any double A guys need to go to triple A. Gary Cruz can stay in double A. Ryan Russell, I think, played in double A last year. He could be promoted. That would be fine. We could promote legendary Dax Kilby. Sure. And I think Jaden Stroman could also be promoted quite profitably. Sure. Ryan Moore missed most of the season, didn't he? I feel like Ryan Moore just keeps getting promoted just because I feel like I should. But I think maybe letting him repeat high A isn't the end of the world. Justin Kashin can probably actually be in double A right now. That's probably acceptable. You want Sebastian Blanco in double A? I'm fine with that. Sal Delgado, if he's ever going to play anything other than high A, has to do it now. So we'll call him up. Anybody from A-ball that could use with a rocket ship? Hector Alvarez is actually a pretty solid catcher already. He's not very good defensively, but I think his bat is certainly good enough to be promoted to high A if nothing else. You want Blanco in AAA? I'm sure you do, but I do not. Let's promote Chavez and Duda. Any low A guys that could use some high A time? I think Lantigua could be promoted to high A. I think that's probably reasonable. Kevin Bain's already 25. You're 26. Okay. Is it the end of the world if we did actually promote? I guess we want to promote Javier Morales, but he can't play shortstop. He's a mediocre second baseman and not much else. I think Kasim here needs to be promoted. I think that's a good decision. We can send him up to high A. How old is he? He's 20. We can just do low A. That's fine. We don't have to rush him. I guess I could just sort by age, but I don't have to I don't like having to resort. Gur, you can go up to A ball here. You're old enough. Alright. This is all quite reasonable. Let's advance time up until opening day. Oh, is everyone that should be on the 40-man on the 40-man now? I'm pretty sure that they are. I need to set up my lineups, don't I? I'm falling asleep at the switch, you know? Alright. I think you sold me, game, on doing Canarella and then Dollies instead of Dollies and then Canarella. I think Condon can hit third, and then I think Richie hits cleanup. I don't think Richie is a very good third baseman, but I think he's at least good enough to try, and that might help him become more valuable for me. My fifth hitter, I want somebody that's fairly reliable, that's done it before. And that sounds an awful lot like Ezekiel Tovar to me. And then Drew Romo hitting sixth. DHing. I kind of want to try Ty Head. Because he's my only lefty bat off the bench. Letting him play every once in a while is probably a good idea. Aren't you like a really good... You're a pretty good outfielder, actually. Maybe we then let Beltre DH. No, Beltre's a good defender, too. And then we do Beltre and Doyle. I know Milam sounds like the obvious pick because of his loaded bat, but you have to realize he's not nearly as good against righties. He's acceptable, but I think he's much better against lefties, and I kind of want to let him do that. But I am going to let him play every day, every fifth day, here. Backing up at first base is probably Dubovik. And maybe Milam too, actually. I'd love for Milam to pick up first base a little bit. Alright. There's that sorted. Second base, I think, is Leone, with Emerson as the backup. Short and third is Emerson, with Leone as the backup. And I really want Emerson to be a defensive replacement for Richie as the game gets late. Alright, so this is all sorted. Outfield backups. Dubovik, and Head in center. And Dubovik can go there. I guess letting Milam be the everyday DH helps with our bench depth, but I think this is reasonable. I think this is acceptable. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quickly copy this, and we're going to paste it onto the left-handed lineup, and we're just going to make one very simple change. You ready? Boop. That's it. Oh, I do want Fauski as the backup catcher if the opposing hitter is right-handed. Or left-handed, rather. And then Milam can be the third catcher. And here, I want Fauski. Fauski is a lefty himself, so he's probably better suited to hitting lefties, but actually a pretty even platoon guy. So this seems like a decent choice. Do note, by the way, Fauci can also play the outfield. You look at his abilities here, he's actually somewhat competent at that. So let's also let Fauci have the occasional shot there, maybe. Pinch hitter, it's absolutely Milam first. Then it's probably Fauci, I guess. Then Dubovik. And then maybe Leone. Yeah, we could say Leone. Grady Emerson is quite fast. So is Leone. Let's let Emerson be the first pinch runner, and then let's let Leone be the second. And then against left-handed pitching, it is obviously going to be Dubovik as the number one pitch hitter. And then probably Leone. And then just for the sake of having other people, Fauski and Emerson. Is Ty Head genuinely that bad against left-handed pitching? He's not that terrible at it. He's got a long way to go. I'm certainly not suggesting he's a permanent fixture in this lineup yet, but I think he's at least acceptable. And then Emerson and Head can be our pinch runners here. That seems okay. So here we go, guys. This is your 2031 Colorado Rockies. Are we a World Series team? Maybe. It's hard to say. An awful lot depends on if we can get the pitching when we need it. This doesn't just mean Pineda. This means we get a great season out of... Oh, where do I rank? I am the number 8. Nice. This doesn't just mean Pineda. This means I need other reliever starters to come through in the postseason. I would love for Lucas Gordillo to be the next Gasky, the next guy who takes it up a notch when we need him to. I feel pretty strongly that Levy is going to be kind of the linchpin here. If Levy can be the pitcher that we think he can, that he instantly becomes the number 2 behind Pineda. I'd love for Ozuna to keep up what he's been able to accomplish. He's not the greatest pitcher ever. What he is he's a workhorse. He gets a lot of work done, and he's effective enough at it that he doesn't hurt the team. This is a big step for Beguin. If he can close with what I think he can close, I think we've got ourselves an extremely formidable bullpen. Because Beguin has really good stamina action, we're going to do a little boop. I want him pitching as much as possible, essentially. I want him to get as much reps in so that he can dominate when we need him to. Eric Riddick struggles against lefties. I didn't realize that. Oh god, you're a lot worse against lefties. I don't love Dubovik being trusted this much to pitch either. Hmm. Let's have Isay get pitched more often because we trust him, and let's have you avoid high leverage for now. As you develop as a pitcher, we can give you more important assignments. This bullpen is a little bit thin. It's very much relying on Beguin and Torres and Chavilli to be what we need them to be when we need them to be it. I have reinforcements in the minor leagues. It's just a question of finding room for them. Edwin Breed is somebody else that has a really good chance to make his way up the roster this season. I didn't want to rush him too hard since he had barely played above A-ball before. But letting him start the season in AAA and seeing what we have there, I think is very reasonable. Yeah. Instead of Dubovik giving me a player that can fill two slots well, he's giving me a player that fills two slots poorly. And that does give me a little bit of concern. Quinn Irons is still a very solid all-around outfielder. Why could I not? He does not have to be on the 40 minutes. Literally why I just waived him. Why are you being weird, bro? Have it your way, jerk. Yeah, let's say goodbye to Halverson and Murphy. Maybe not Murphy. Probably Murphy. Halverson can go. Let me call up Ramon Aguayo. And let me send down Kyle Murphy. And then that solves that issue. Already have Eric Gonzalez. I guess I didn't need that many catchers there. Oh well. I'm gonna release Brayfogle here. He's a mediocre outfielder that offers really nothing to the table. Maybe somebody else is gonna want him and be like, oh shit. That's the one guy we needed to win 10 World Series in a row. Hey, you know what? Rodolfo Rivera, welcome to the Rockies. Easy pick. You can have a terrible outfielder in exchange for a fairly competent relief pitcher. That makes me feel pretty good. Dahigo's going to be a decision we're going to have to make here. Let me simulate up to my first game, which is the 27th of March. Understood. Can I let him rehab? There you go. This is a team that could easily be one of the best in the major leagues. It's also a team that could be very mediocre. I've got a lot of very solid players, but I have few superstars. And some of my clear superstars just need more time. This is a team with a lot of all-stars, but the only player that I could ever see winning an MVP on this club is Charlie Condon. Yeah, his raw power is always going to play extremely well, and he hits well enough to make that stick. So I feel pretty good about Condon. I'm not saying these other guys are bad players. I'm saying they're not superstars. I'm saying they're not MVP caliber performances every night kind of stuff. Richie could get there. This is a big year for him. He's being trusted with a more difficult task of being an everyday third baseman. Last year he did play a little bit of third base, and he wasn't very good at it. But he barely played it, right? Like, he barely played in the field. Letting him play third base is, I think, a decent choice. Dalis came out of nowhere. This is not happening again. My expectations are very firmly tempered. I want him to get on base, and I want him to play good second base. Those are the two things I require of him. If he starts to slip, we find a replacement. But I have no illusions that he'll ever hit 495 again as a slugging average. He's just not that kind of hitter. 20 home runs is crazy for him. But then again, maybe it's the fact that he's in Colorado. Maybe he will hit 20 home runs regularly, which makes him very valuable to me. I'd like Cam Cannarella to split the difference between the past two seasons. If he's getting on base and stealing bases effectively, that's his job. That makes me happy. But if he can add just a soupçon of additional power, he becomes even more valuable to me, even more awesome. For now, I will happily take his awesomeness for now. What does he want in an extension, out of curiosity? If we wanted a 6-year deal for him with 2 team options, does this grab you? Is this a thing that would interest you? Did I just put in $15 million? I think I did. No, I'm right. Okay. So what does he think he is worthy of in long-term financing? If you're getting paid $22 million in free agency, I want a way to get out of it. That's how I feel about it. This works for me. Even at 2 wins, he's definitely worth $12 million, and this makes sure that I have him at least for now, and then we can talk about it as time progresses. Anybody else I want to sign to a longer term deal right now? We're gonna lose Tovar. Are you high financial ambition? You are just kind of there. What do you want to stick around? I think 7 years is way too long. It's way too long. He is still playing at a reasonably high level, so I think I want to keep him for sure. And I don't even think the salary is a problem. It's the length. I think a 4 or 5 year deal is perfectly fine for me. But I think any more than that is asking for trouble. He wants 7. Give me a team option in year 6, and we can call this a negotiation. No, he doesn't want that team option. He's afraid that I'll exercise it. Okay. Let me get him to slice a few million out of this and see if that grabs him. Like, if we do one of these, is that okay with you? That works for me too. It at least gives me some possibilities here, so I think this is reasonable. And then we'll probably want to talk to guys like we'll probably want to talk to guys like maybe McKeon at some stage, Torres at some point, Begin or Morales. All these are possibilities here. But I think Tovar will age reasonably well. He doesn't really have young player skills, and that it isn't that he hits for a ridiculous high average every year. It's that he's got lots of pop, a good glove, and he doesn't strike out as much. Actually, strikes out a lot. Scratch that last part there, but he's got lots of power. As long as he's hitting doubles and home runs with reasonable frequency, and in our practice shouldn't be a problem, then his sensational defense is going to make him worth 3 to 4 wins a year. We want to monitor Doyle's defense very, very carefully when making a decision if we're going to keep him next year, but Pujols can walk, and I don't really care. I guess I could have tried to trade Tovar for a bag, but I don't have a shortstop that I trust right now. Defensively, Grady Emerson certainly could handle shortstop. I have no problem with that. But offensively, he's kind of a zero. Isaiah Swain is only a third baseman and first baseman. I want you to keep developing. This is a big season of development for you. I want you to force you to make a decision about Colin Ritchie. That's what I feel about Isaiah Swain. So Canarella and Tovar being locked up makes me feel pretty decent. The rest of these guys are fine as they are. Yeah. Pineda's already aging. We knew this was going to happen. This is not news to us. So we'll see what happens. But that's it for today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please remember to like and subscribe. You can comment down below. Let me know how you think we're doing. But until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.